Well, here I am once more, back down on the magical and mighty River Ribble. It's a very bright, sunny day today. It's September. It's going to get up to 27 degrees later on, so I've come down early morning to see if I can catch a few chub and hopefully a barbel or two. So I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about the Barbel Masters UK. We set off for Nottingham. It was about a 3-hour drive from where I live down to the pub, which is the Ferry Boat Inn, where we're all going to be given a draw. Now I've had my granny come over from Northern Ireland.
Free FP!
Brilliant. 2 days previous to the competition. Now she was coming over specifically to do a bit of shopping in Nottingham. Me, my mum and my granny. It was her 84th birthday on the Saturday. We all set off on the Friday afternoon. Oh, look at this, Granny! And it took us almost a full 3 hours to get there. We're in Nottingham city centre, and I didn't have much time to get down to the Ferry Boat Inn, which is probably about a 25 minute drive from the centre of Nottingham. Unfortunately, as we arrived, the sat-nav kept putting us around. I don't know if anyone knows Nottingham, but it's all one-way system. And the sat-nav was taking us to the wrong car park every time. Little did we know that if we had a look to our left, when the sat-nav was telling us the car park was on the right, we would have seen down the end of that street, our car park was just there. Well, unfortunately, we're stuck here in the middle of Nottingham. We've been stuck here for over an hour. And we've been going round in circles. The hotel gave us the wrong entrance and the wrong car park. And then when we actually get into the car park, some plonkers have went into the car park and they disobeyed the height restriction on the entrance and still carried on going. So we were jammed in the car park, which made us late. Swan behind me there. That made us a little bit late, so we were stuck there for, I don't know, 40 minutes in the centre of Nottingham. So the draw for the pegs had already started. So I was in contact with my colleagues that were already over there. I had the lovely Lisa Loveridge, who did very well in the competition, I might add. We had Sean Corbett and we had Jonathan Edwards, and they were all already there and they're wondering where I was. When we arrived at the Ferry Boat Inn, all I could see was a bit of mass panic as anglers were going left, right and centre from the car park, here, there and everywhere to their pegs. So as I walked into the pub, there was no sign of the draw whatsoever. So I went up to the barman and asked him, you don't know where this draw is supposed to be? He goes, yeah, just round that corner. I went round that corner and the representative from Coram was just packing his gear away. He was on the phone to somebody and he was saying to the guy, no, I'm sorry, you can't change your peg, because obviously someone wasn't too happy with their peg. There was 2 free spaces still to be taken. One of them was mine. So when he got off the phone, he handed me a little pot. I put my hand in, I only had the choice of 2, pulled it out, and I got number 7, lucky number 7 as I thought. And that was at Gunthorpe. So that was supposed to be a really, really good area for barbel. A lot of you guys might already know this, but there's a nice big weir there, and they call it the Island at Gunthorpe. And that's where all the prolific barbel anglers go, and it does fish very well in normal conditions. So quite happy with that. I decided we'd get something to eat before we set off because it was going to be a long 36 hours. Tell you what, that's some river, isn't it? That is a gorgeous river. Size of it, like, unbelievable. That's a Ferry Boat Inn. Just picked up my ticket. I've got number 7 peg on Penton's Field at Gunthorpe. Don't know where that is, but we're going to find out soon. But just thought I'd come down, have a little look at the river before I set off. Look at that crystal clear water, but very deep. Oh my word, that's very deep. Looks like there'd be a lot of perch there near that tree. Plenty of Canadian geese, swans out. Fantastic. Right, time to get to the car and get up to Gunthorpe and Penton's Field. I must say that the organisers of the competition, it was fantastic. All the staff are fantastic. Great location, fantastic river, and Coram were very good as well. They give us like a fast mat, a bit of like a cradle. So I'll be using that, and it's all liveried up with a little logo, Barbel Masters UK 21. So I've got that with me today. and they also give us oh, I'm in, sorry. Beautiful. What a lovely fish. You don't mind getting interrupted when you're filming when it's for a fish like this. That's gorgeous, beautiful. So we arrived at Gunthorpe, at the Gunthorpe Lock car park. The car park was full to the max, overspilling, and when we arrived, the weir was right next to us. That's Gunthorpe Lock there. You can see that all the mist rising from the weir. It's unbelievable, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Like, lovely, stunning place to be. And there's River Trent. And as I arrived at the weir, I thought that was a competition. Unfortunately not, but there seemed to be at least 20 anglers before, in between the weir and where the competition started. 2-3 rods out per person. So you're talking a minimum of 40 rods, maybe even a bit more, in probably 150-200 yards. So very cramped, and I'm assuming that's because oh, I'm away again. Well, I've been rudely interrupted once more by another barbel, and just look at this. It's not a monster, but it's a ribble torpedo, and it gave me a good fight over the shallow water. And look at that, what a beautiful fish. What I love about these ribble barbel is the coloration on them, because you're fishing in really clear water here, and they're perfectly golden brown, coral pink fins, beautiful yellow eyes, and then if you're very lucky, you might catch a small one. Now this must be the smallest barbel I've ever seen in all my life. And look at this. That was in my net. Isn't that beautiful? I don't know if you can see that. That's a baby barbel. As I walked on to the fishery, I was very lucky to notice a couple of people I knew from social media. A very lovely guy called Billy Johnson, who lent me his power porter. It's a carp porter Mark II, and it's powered by a battery. And I was able to get all my stuff up in quick time compared to what I would have been doing if it was on my own. I want to say a massive thank you to Bill Johnson for rescuing me. First ever experience using a power porter. I've got one of these, a Mark II, but it hasn't been converted yet. Mine's only got the one wheel at the front, so nice one, Bill, for that. I'm going that way to see what that white flag is. That's the start of the competition, and then I've got 7 pegs to walk up to. So let's see. Time now. It's just coming up to 10 to 8. Competition starts in 10 minutes, so better get off. So thank you very much. He's a good man, so he is. And I managed to get up to my peg. It was peg 7. Bumped into Jonathan Edwards on the way up as well, my teammate. He had peg 3, I believe. And I had very high spirits. I thought, you know what, this looks fantastic. The only thing I didn't like, and you'll notice from the videos that I produce, I don't like fishing around other anglers. I like the peace and the solitude, so having all these rods in the water really wasn't my style, but it was a competition. We'd taken up some pegs, so everyone was condensed into one area. I knew it was going to be hard, but I didn't know it was going to be as hard as it turned out to be. Just to give you an idea about how hard it's fished where I am. Right, you can just see that in the middle of the screen. I'll zoom right in. Where that white flag is, that's where it starts. The bivvy right next to the flag has had 1 fish. Nothing at all up until these 2 guys. He's had 2 fish. And then right down to where the gate is, nothing at all. So from that gate, there's a guy just at the gate, I think's had a 12-ounce fish. So from that gate, the whole way down to that flag, 3 fish in 36 hours on all these anglers. That's how hard it's been. But anyway, Gunthorpe proved to be very difficult. Most people were blanking for 24 hours. There was a few, it's a sprinkling of fish coming out in the first 24 hours. I think maybe 3 or 4 fish came out. And that's for 20 anglers, 2 rods each, 40 rods. We were 20 metres apart from each peg. So there wasn't a lot of space. But peg 6, which is sort of like just before me, I'm peg 7, and it was in the first maybe 120 yards from peg 1. And he had a decent fish at the very start, and then I was very, very excited to find out that Lisa Loveridge over at Stoke Bardolph, now that was predicted to be one of the worst areas to fish on the day, but it actually proved to be the best on the day. But Lisa actually pulled in a whopping 13-pounder. So that gave us all high spirits. Lisa was in the lead, and then she goes and catches another one. So Lisa was leading the competition, she was leading her section, and free FT all the way. We're all happy. So it was up to me and Jonathan, and we also were very lucky to have Matthew Ball, which was on peg 8 right next to me. So he's one of the promotions guys from Free FT. So it was very nice to have someone right next to me, and we had a great bit of a social really. Now myself and Matthew really struggled. We didn't even get a touch. Actually, no, Matthew did. Matthew got one run in the middle of the night. By the time he got to it, there was no fish on. That's the only action he's seen, and I didn't see any action whatsoever. Not so much as a rattle on the rod. I was very annoyed with myself not catching any fish, but I knew I was fishing really well and doing everything right, and there were some excellent anglers on there who were also struggling and blanked. And it wasn't just across Gunthorpe, Winthorpe. I think they only produced 3 fish in 36 hours. And Liam Willis, former teammate for 3FT, he actually caught a 15-pound fish on the nose, and that's the fish that got the largest fish. He also won his section, so he had quite a good, decent amount of prize money and decent prizes. And it finished off with, there was one guy in Gunthorpe who ended up catching 5 small barbel throughout the night to 30 pound, and that's what won it. Would you believe it? That's what won the whole match. So there was a sprinkling of fish caught further up on the downstream section of the Gunthorpe. They were catching just sprinkles, but maybe 3 or 4 people on Gunthorpe did okay and caught a few fish, and nothing really big. There was a couple of Polish guys doing really well. They had a couple of decent fish. One guy I think had an 11-pounder and a 10-pounder. So it was just all down to the last few hours really, and the guy that won it only had his fish in the last, I think it was the last 8 or 9 hours through the night into Sunday morning. So very, very difficult, but very enjoyable. Competition was run very well. Big congratulations to Lisa for doing well for the team, and what a little firecracker she is. Absolutely stunning fish. Stunning fish indeed. Gorgeous. Big tail on it. That's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, let's get these fish back in the river. Lovely. Well, I was just about to release the 2 fish. I'm going to release this biggie first. That was 9 pound. 9 pound 12. 9 pound, that's a 9 pound 12. But look at that. Oh, he's been resting well. He's away. Right, that's him away. I'll just put the second one out now. It's a beauty. Let's get you out. That's an absolutely gorgeous fish. Off she goes. Wonderful. And this third one, I haven't even unhooked it yet. It's not as big as the ones I've been catching. It's not bad. I don't know, maybe 6 or 7. But I'm going to unhook this. It's another beautiful fish. Fantastic. It's good to be back down in the magical and mighty River Ribble. I just love it. Oh, I've got a fish, another one. I'm very glad I had that one last cast, because it was productive, and I've got another barbel. Unbelievable. I think that's barbel number 5. I'm just going to leave it there to rest. That's a lovely fish. No monster, but definitely a beauty. Look at that, beautiful colours on it. Stunning, stunning fish. Happy days. I'm just going to leave it there to rest. Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of an insight into the Barbel Masters UK 21, and also into how productive the ribble can be, even on bright days. If you can find the fish, you can have lots of fun. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you. Tight lines. Enjoy your own fishing, and happy days.